So here we are over in another trail.
Yeah.
It's got a nice boardwalk.
Yeah.
And it's got nice shade.
Nice shade, definitely a good place to stop in the summer. The mosquitoes can be a little bad, so you want to make sure you bring your bug spray.
We have our off with us, don't we?
Yes. But
necessary.
Right, and just so you guys know, it's not all mosquitoes that bite, it's only the ladies.
Oh.
The boys like to eat nectar. Right, so don't blame the boys. It's only the ladies that are the bloodsuckers for this group.
Oh, that's perfect for a council that's majority of females to know that it's the women, the mosquitoes that are the bloodsuckers.
Yes,
all right.
yes,
Let's be clear. Very
yes,
good.
Yes. So yeah, no, this is a great trail to come out. This is our short loop, and it is. We have boardwalks over a wetland slough, and what you're looking at around us here is actually a really cool wetland area. This area tends to be wet all year, as the wetland name gives it off, and this is actually tidally influenced by our St. Lucie River. So you might come out here after horrendous rain the next day and not see a drop of water, but 4 days later see a ton of water in here. And you're like, well, it didn't rain, what happened? It's all about the river and how it flows through here.
The tides, okay. Interesting. So also here you may be able to get a glimpse of an otter.
Oh, yes, I've had people tell me they've seen otters come right up. I've also had people tell me they see alligators. Now, I also get people telling me they see alligators in the Pine Flatwoods. So I don't know how true the alligators are, but I know for sure there has been otters down here.
I have never seen an alligator over here. I have seen otters right off of this deck.
Yes.
Yeah, with the kids before, and they make a lot of splashing noise, and they're having a great time.
They do.
It's like a Disney cartoon.
I know, they're really fun. They're rolling over each other. It's easy to forget that they're still wild animals. You know, even though they're cute and fuzzy, it doesn't mean you should get there and try and wrestle with them or hop in the water, which sometimes does happen. People try and have fun with wildlife and usually end up getting bit.
It's not a good idea.
No.
Yeah, and I'm learning a lot from you. I know when we were walking up, you know, those little grasshoppers that you find to be cute and very colorful. You know, I'm not a fan of them jumping on me, and for some reason as we walk I always have the grasshoppers and those tree frogs that like to jump at me, and my kids say it's because I must have some kind of I'm a witch or something, that they're like drawn to my black magic or something.
But anytime that an animal comes across, like a snake, if you ever come across one and you're not sure what you can do, you can actually just stomp your feet on the ground, because screaming and yelling is like a silent film to them. You just look like a crazy person, right? Because they can't hear you. They don't have external ears. So they listen with their throat and their belly on the skin, and so they feel vibrations. So if you don't like a snake, no need to scream and scare all your friends. Just stomp your feet lightly. You know, don't need to do an Irish jig, just a little tapping, and they'll move on their way.
See, I always thought you were supposed to stay absolutely still.
No, because sometimes they just hang out and watch you.
Yeah, okay. I'm learning a lot today from my tour, so I really appreciate your time. And I do like this area a lot because it is a place where you can stop and just kind of relax for a few minutes. Look at the cobwebs and really take a few minutes to just take in the natural Florida.
Right. And a lot of times I'll have people come out on the trails and say that they didn't see anything. If you stop and slow down, you'll see a ton of things. And this is a great area. Our wetland slough has so much to provide and so much plant material that you're guaranteed to see wildlife at some point. So even if it's the dragonfly hunting mosquitoes, or, you know, our otters like you saw.
It's like a life lesson, right? To slow down long enough to see something.
Yeah.
And just, you know, make the time to get out here. And, you know, the cool thing about what we're doing with these episodes is really just emphasizing that we're just around the corner from somebody's home.
That's right.
And we're just around the corner from your local grocery store.
Absolutely.
And this is right in the middle of our city, and just such a great opportunity to come park your car, get out by yourself, get out with the kids, get out with your loved one, and just really enjoy where we live. So as we get up and we start to take this trail down to the river, what will we see down there?
Well, when we start to head into the river area, you'll actually notice the vegetation changes. It goes from pine flatwoods into what is around here right now. So you start to see more like red maples, ferns, things that indicate that it's wet. And when you get down towards our canoe dock, we have this beautiful dock that has this lovely cove, and it is very tidally influenced. Some days you come and you can almost walk out to the St. Lucie River. Other times the dock is actually underwater and you might wade out, but if you watch very carefully, you'll see crabs and little baby fish. It's like a nursery. And quite often I'll have people tell me that manatees even come in and will hang out there. I've never seen one in that dock, but I've had so many people, they're eating the leather ferns, they're eating the pond apple, they're just hanging out, having a good time. And that just happened even a couple weeks ago, so it's not just the winter season. You can see them coming into the river. And our St. Lucie River is home to so many fish species, more than almost anywhere else, I think, in North America. But if you're looking out of our dock, if you look straight out, you'll see a no wake sign, and that is our St. Lucie River, and it is just gorgeous. You can actually go all times of the year and see amazing wildlife up and down the river. Now during the summertime, please do not go out at 2 o'clock because everything's sleeping. It's too hot, right? If you go out in the summer, go out first thing in the morning and you'll see some of the most beautiful birds just hanging out, like our great blue heron, and they'll just hang very, very still. And sometimes you can even chase them, not on purpose, but down the river as you go. They fly about 10 feet and then you get a little bit closer and then they fly 10 feet again. I wish they'd get it and fly behind you, but they don't. Bird brains, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool place to be. Now, if you're walking along our dock, you'll see that we have the River Otter Trail, and that's actually one of my favorite places in the whole park because it's hilly. For Florida, that's an abnormal trail.
That is neat.
But one of the reasons it is hilly is that all of the sediment that when they straightened and channelized the St. Lucie River, all the sediment was put there. So unfortunate that it was straightened and channelized because it does impact environmentally. However, for us, that makes a really amazing trail. So if you guys ever get a chance, you know, bring your kids out. That one's a fun one. You know, I take my 2-year-old out there and she's like, hills! And she runs up and down the hill. She thinks it's so much fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. If we're looking down by the river, we can actually find a lot of boating happening down the river. And I usually get people, if they're interested in kayaking, we used to offer kayak tours. We'll hopefully be offering them again in the future. So keep your eyes out for our newsletter. But a great place to launch is you can actually launch out of White City and kayak down to our dock. Get out, put the dock, kayak up on the dock and go on a trail. River Otter Trail, just take a little jaunt down it and then you can get back. And the most amazing thing is you can go around Idabel Island.
So if you wanted to kayak from here, could you park in your parking lot and then carry your kayaks out to the
if you are so inclined. It's a long portage. That's definitely, it'll take you about a half hour to portage your boat out there. However, I know some people have, like my father-in-law has the wheels that they just put on the front and you drag it. It's a great place to launch from. You can go south down to Prima Vista, and actually what's amazing is the salinity in the water changes, so the salt content. And once you get to Prima Vista, you start to see oyster beds and a lot more really cool animals that are more estuarine. Whereas up here, there are a lot more freshwater animals like our alligators and our otters and stuff. I have people who've lived here 10 years since the park's been kind of up and running as a park, or 11 years almost now. And people will be like, oh, I lived here, I didn't know this was here. It's always like a hidden treasure, and I love it when people come in here because it is so beautiful and it's so amazing to go hiking here. It's such a beautiful experience, and every time I come here and I get out on the trails, I think how fortunate I am I get to work in such a beautiful location. You know, when I first moved to South Florida, I was from Canada, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's no trees, I don't know what to do, there's no seasons. This is, you know, I didn't think this area very beautiful at all. I was very upset. But when I started to actually learn about it and even learn about our really cool scrub habitats, like we have a remnant of one here, how beautiful and endangered they are and how unique they are to this part of the world. So it's really amazing, and you can see all sorts of glorious things when you come to the Oxbow. Every time you come is something different.